Okay, so quick look at this mouse. This is the Glorious O2 Pro, a pretty good mouse in my opinion, mostly if you are in the ultra light category. If you're okay with the additional weight, I think you can find slightly better mice, even though you have to pay just a bit more. So this here are the important component of this mouse. There's also a USB inline coupler going from a USB-A female to a USB-C female, but I forgot to include it here, so that you can use if you need to bring the receiver closer to the mouse. Anyway, this here is the receiver. The range of this receiver was not very impressive. I had stuttering and a lot of lag at first because the receiver was located behind my LG C1, the 55-inch TV that I'm using as a computer monitor. Now behind the same TV, I also have this receiver. This is the Logitech G502 Lightspeed. This receiver has been there for years. I never had problem with connectivity. That wasn't the case, however, with the one from Glorious. For that, I had to bring the receiver in front of the TV. But once it was in front, the connection was flawless, no lag, and it's very responsive. Next, we have this USB cable. The best way to describe this cable is to compare it with a shoelace. It's that flexible. So when you're using it, you don't feel it at all. It's very nice. The connector here, you can see there is a little plastic support on either side so that when you connect it to the mouse, oh, it only goes in one way. But once you have this connected, this extra plastic here is providing support, so less stress is put on the USB connector. Alright, let's move on to the mouse. So this is an ultralight mouse, weighs 58 grams on my scale. Because it's so light, have a listen to this. It's mostly a thin shell with a lot of air inside. In everyday use though, this feels fine, it doesn't feel fragile at all. Alright, so just to have a point of comparison, listen to this. So this is the Logitech G502, a mouse that is double the weight of the Glorious O2 Pro. And this one is the Logitech G502X. Alright, so let's move on. This mouse is tapered inward this way and over here as well, so it makes the mouse very easy to hold. It's just well anchored within your fingers. It's very easy to lift and move the mouse around. So even though there's no grip tape or rubber on the sides, it's still very comfortable. At the bottom of this mouse, there's only one power switch and one LED indicator for the DPI. This mouse has onboard memory and 6 fully programmable buttons, so 2 on the sides and 4 on the top. To reprogram any of these buttons, you need the Glorious Core software, which is only available for Windows. So for Mac users, you would bring this mouse to a PC, program it, and then bring it over to your Mac. However, I mapped a simple keys on one of these buttons, but it never activated. So whether it was a keys or macros, it never worked on a Mac for me. Now this could be a software bug and it could be addressed with a firmware update, but as of now, it didn't work for me. Now moving on to the two main clickers. So these two buttons here, they have quite a bit of travel and they are noisy. Not that it's not usable, it's just how it is. And just describing you the characteristic from this angle, you can see how much travel there is. Now compare this to the G502, you can just hear how quieter it is. As well, there is a lot less travel. And here's my G502X. So this one requires more force to actuate the clicks, and that is very similar to what the O2 Pro has, except the O2 Pro has more travel. And lastly, let's talk about the scroll wheel. So on the O2 Pro, as you can see, the scroll wheel has huge ridges. So that makes it very tactile. It's very easy to use. Compare this to the 502, has kind of similar ridges, just slightly smaller. And then when we move over to the 502X, they will replace it with very fine lines. So between the three, I definitely like how they did it on the O2 Pro. Now one thing I don't like about the scroll wheel, however, is how when you spin this, you don't feel the notches. Compare this to the 502X, you can just hear the difference. On the O2 Pro, if the scroll wheel would have a stronger tactile bump, I would have preferred it so much more. Personally, I find it's too soft, but that's a personal preference. Maybe you like it that way. Overall, the Glorious O2 Pro is a very good mouse. So I used it for about a week. At no point had the urge to go back to one of my previous mice. This one, it works well, it's comfortable, it's accurate. So overall, very good. Hopefully this is helping you out. Thank you very much for watching.